So now we will discuss this another topic that we have on legal remedies. Now, what is remedies or reliefs that are being given? What is remedy? Remedy or relief that is given in case of torts. Remedy or relief basically means like some kind of a relief that is given. That means we have suffered loss being the victim, and court tries to provide us something that will give us a relief, that will try to balance the loss which we have suffered, that will try to bring us back to the same position, right? So when we talk about remedies or reliefs, these are some benefits or some things which are given to us that will try to reduce the loss or suffering which we have gone through. Okay, and in case of torts, it's not just compensation, it's not just unliquidated damages, but there are other types of reliefs as well which may be given to parties who have suffered a loss. So what is legal remedy basically? In torts, because of act or omission of the wrongdoer, the other party's legal rights are being violated. Legal rights are being infringed. And for that matter, he suffers loss or harm. And that violation of legal right results in some kind of a legal remedy also. And what is that legal remedy? It would depend on the situation. Okay, what kind of remedy would be best in the given situation? Court will decide on that, and court will finally provide the same. Okay, so what can be a remedy? Take for example, A is owner of a car. Okay, A is the owner of a car and he is having this car and he is very much attached to it. Now, B wrongfully takes that car, which originally belongs to A. Okay, B wrongfully took possession of this car, which actually belongs to A. Now, here there may be three situations that can happen. Court can either ask him to return the car, court can ask him to pay the price for it, or buy him another similar car. Okay, so those might be the situations or reliefs that we want to undo the loss or harm which is being suffered by the parties. We want to try to repair it. Again, that is nothing but legal remedies or legal reliefs. That means these are some remedies or reliefs which are recognized by law. Law allows us for it. And broadly, if we talk about reliefs, they can be divided into two major categories, one being judicial remedies, another being extrajudicial remedies. And from the name itself is clear. What is judicial remedy? Their judiciary has got a role to play, right? It is some kind of a remedy which will be provided by courts. We are not taking that remedy ourselves, but rather courts of law provides this remedy to the aggrieved party who has suffered loss because of a certain given situation. And what is extrajudicial remedy? In some exceptional cases, court may even allow us, or it may even be justified to take law in our own hands. Otherwise, law is there, a proper established setup is there. It's not expected that we take law in our own hands in the normal situations, but there may be some exceptional situations like self-defense and all, where we can take law in our own hands. Maybe because we don't have enough time to wait for an opportunity to approach the court or a public officer. There we can take law in our own hands also, and those will be considered as extrajudicial remedies. Court is not providing that to us, but we are helping ourselves. Rather than complaining about it before court, we are trying to help ourselves and deal with the situation. It may be because of self-help or a self-defense, or it may be because the matter is like very small. It's not justified that we unnecessarily go to court, as we can deal with it ourselves by using some reasonable amount of force. Okay, that is nothing but extrajudicial remedies, some situations wherein it may be even justified to take law in our own hands. Now, if we talk about the different types of remedies or reliefs available in these two broad categories, judicial and extrajudicial. For judicial, we have three types of remedies: damages, injunction, specific restitution of property. Okay, what is damages? Damages means payment of compensation. And in case of torts, it is always in the form of unliquidated damages. Amount is not prefixed. Only when the situation takes place, only when the party suffers some loss, depending on the loss suffered, court will try to analyze the situation and provide for an amount of compensation. So first and the most common type of relief which is given is damages as a form of judicial remedy. We will go before court, we will put all the relevant situations and facts, and court will try to fix the reasonable amount of compensation for that matter. And for that, court will take a lot of things or a lot of situations into consideration. Okay, like if you remember that recent case of Ashna Roy getting 2 crores compensation for a bad haircut. How did court come to that conclusion? Court took into consideration all the relevant matters, all the relevant facts, that how much was she earning from the job that she had to lose because of the mental stress that she had gone through for this unsatisfactory service given by the hotel authorities. Right? So court will take into consideration all of those things. After that, damages will be decided or fixed by the court, and it will accordingly be provided to the concerned parties. And damages is the most common type of relief that is given. Okay, second being injunction. What is injunction? Do you remember? Injunction, Arma, Soumya, anyone? Injunction as a relief. So what is injunction? It's like a court's order. Okay, court will pass an order and court may ask us to do something or abstain from doing something. Okay, take for example, if like in all the cases, right, damages might not be enough or damages might not be the best way of providing remedy to the parties. Take for example, if your neighbor is playing loud music every single day and you have suffered loss, you are not able to work properly in your house, you are not able to sleep properly, basically you are not able to do anything peacefully in the house, and you file the case before court complaining about it. All right, and if court decides the matter, maybe after 8 months court decided on the case and court said that yes, there was a case of nuisance, your neighbor did disturb your peace of mind for this last 8 months. So court made paid a compensation. Court said that yes, you need to pay some 90,000 rupees compensation to this person. But is that compensation enough? Is it the best remedy available to you? Why? Because even though that amount is paid to you, it's like one time paid amount is paid. Okay, the person may pay that compensation and from the next day itself, he may again repeat the same thing. He may again start playing loud music. And will you again go to court, file a case? That does not make sense, right? How many times would you be going before court and filing a case? That means in some cases, damages may not be enough to address these issues, and that's where injunction comes. So court will say that yes, for this last 8 months, you have caused a lot of disturbance or problems to this person, so you need to pay 90,000 compensation, plus from now onwards you should not be creating this disturbance. That is an injunction order being passed, that court has asked this person to stop playing loud music or creating that disturbance. Okay, it is even very common in case of illegal constructions. Someone may be constructing something illegally, then a person files a case and court would say that it's an illegal construction, stop this construction right here, right now. That means it is again injunction. Court has asked parties not to do something. Okay, so injunction is order of a court wherein court is asking the parties either to do something or to stop doing something. Okay, that was an example of court asking parties to stop doing something. Okay, but there may be situations wherein court is asking that you need to do something. Like take for example, there is a transaction, okay, maybe there is a transaction wherein a property was transferred to a person, and court also like what happened, right? On papers property got transferred, but owner is not handing over possession to the buyer. Their court can say that you need to hand over possession as well. Court is passing an order by which court will give a direction that you need to do something. You need to transfer possession as well. That also would fall under injunction. Okay, court asking a person to do something or to stop doing something, that is nothing but injunction, which is done by will be passed by the court. Okay, that is nothing but judicial remedies. First one being damages, the most common type. Second being injunction. And the last one that we have in judicial remedies is specific restitution of property. When we say property, it may be movable as well as immovable properties. Okay, does not matter what kind of property it is, whether it's movable, whether it's immovable, in both the situations or both the cases, it will be applicable. Now, what is specific restitution of property? Property, as I told you, it may include movable as well as immovable properties. What is restitution? Restitution means restoration. Wherever it was, keep it back there. Okay, that means some movable or immovable property, we need to give it back. We need to restore it. What sort of property is it? It is specific property. That means whatever property we have taken, we need to return it, we need to give it back, or we need to keep it in the same place or position where it was previously. It is also a type of relief which is given under Specific Relief Act. Okay, and it's also a common, like quite common sort of relief that is being given. Take for example, in your family, there is like a god or a idol, okay, which you are worshipping for the last 25 years. Your father got it from your grandfather. Okay, your father got it from your grandfather, and your entire family, you are praying the same god for the last 25 years. Every single day you are doing the puja, you are taking care of the god. Now is a situation where for 3 months, all the family members, you are going somewhere for some vacation. Okay, for 3 months, no one will be available in your house to take care of this god. And because every single day you were doing the puja, you decided that let's not break that thing. We will get it done anyway. So what you decided is, you decided to maybe give it to a friend. All right, you gave it to a friend who also believes on puja and stuff, and you said that please take care of this god for this 3 months because we are not available. You do the puja, you do the everything. After we return, after 3 months when we return, you give it back to us. Okay, that was basically the thing which you had made, right? That was basically the conversation you had, that for 3 months you take care of our movable property. After that, when we return, you give it back to us. So during these 3 months, your friend was doing the puja and everything. And by this time, he also got emotionally attached to the God. And when you people returned, your friend was like, no, you never gave us anything. I don't want to return this God. If you want money, I will pay the price for this God. If you want, I would get custom made another exact same God for you. But this one, I'm not returning it to you. Okay? In this case, you can file a case for specific restitution of property. And before court, you can say that no amount of money can be as valuable as this God. Okay, no amount of money can compensate this loss that I have suffered. I want specific restoration of property. This specific God only I want it back. I don't want any amount of compensation. I don't want any other custom-made God or anything. Nothing can replace it. Okay, and if there are valid enough reasons, court will provide you this relief also. Court will say that yes, she is right. She is really attached to this God, and they are doing puja for the last 25 years. Plus, you also promised to return it after 3 months. So now you need to return it. Okay, so court may accordingly ask for specific restitution of this movable property, that you need to give this specific property only back. No other relief would be like enough in this given situation. Okay, and it's not just for movable property, even for immovable property, you can ask this relief. If someone illegally took possession of your land, and maybe you are very much emotionally connected with that land, you can say that I don't want to sell it. Okay, my last 4 generations, everyone is residing in the same plot of land. I don't want to sell this plot of land. I want to live here. So I want specific restitution of immovable property. Okay, and if court feels that there is valid enough reasons for you claiming this right, court will allow it as well. Okay, that is nothing but specific restitution of movable or immovable property, whatever the situation might be. Is it clear? Soumya, Arma, is it clear? Yes, ma'am. So these 3 are judicial remedies for which we will approach the court and ask for these reliefs or remedies. Okay, and whatever is the best one, that court will provide you. Next one is extrajudicial remedies. Extrajudicial as in outside the court. Rather than going to the court for every single case, every single situation, we are trying to help ourselves in some given situations. And these, in fact, are common. We come across these in our day-to-day life also. Okay, maybe we have done these things as well. Okay, might be we have also taken help of these extrajudicial remedies in our life. So what are extrajudicial remedies? First one being expulsion of trespasser. Okay, expulsion of trespasser. What is trespass? Someone trying to enter my property without my permission or approval. When I see there is a person, there is a trespasser trying to enter my property. Okay, in that case, what happens is I don't need to sit there, wait for the person to enter my property, that okay, fine, let him enter, let him do whatever he wants. Tomorrow I will file a case. That is not like like a common thing, right? Why should I be waiting and like wasting time? Rather, what I can do is I can go there, I can ask the person like, I don't know you, what are you looking for, whom are you looking for? And if the person says that maybe I'm looking for this certain person, I can clearly tell him that no, this person do not live here, might be this is the other houses of that person. That means expulsion of trespasser. When I saw someone trying to enter my property, I don't need to wait there, but I can ask that person that no, this is not where that person lives. You can leave. There might be some people who would come and would be like, please buy this thing from me, buy this, buy that. I have some targets and stuff. Okay, if they are forcefully doing it, there also you don't need to wait. You can simply say that I'm not interested. Maybe you can close the door or get in front of his face. That is, you are using reasonable amount of force to expel that person. Okay, sometimes if a person is like, no, I want to enter your property without valid justification also, there maybe you can even push that person and lock the door, right? What are you doing in such cases is, you are not simply waiting that let this person do this wrong, after that I'll go to court, but rather you have the option of helping yourself and you are doing the same. Okay, that is nothing but expulsion of trespassers. That you can use reasonable amount of force and you can prevent this person from doing the wrong. That's the first type of extrajudicial remedy which we have. Okay, now next one is re-entry on land. Okay, again, these are like sort of understood from the words also. Okay, so what is re-entry on land? Re-entry as in previously you were having an entry over there, but it was taken back from you. Okay, you might have witnessed this, that there will be some people who would take a property on rent, and then they will not pay the rent also, they will not vacate the property also. Owner will be asking that please leave this house because you are not able to afford the rent, please leave, please vacate. The person would not be vacating, he would not even be paying rent also. So there, what owner can do is, owner can simply break the lock, take out all of his properties, keep it outside and put his own lock there. That means owner has taken this reasonable amount of force he has used to expel that person or to remove this person from there and re-enter on the land, because it was land of the landlord anyway. So landlord entered there again. It was his property, he entered again. Rather than going to the court and creating all that issue, he did it himself. Okay, same situation. In fact, it happened with one of our neighbors. Okay, what happened, right? He was having like 2 plots of land. One is where that person was living, and another one was like a vacant plot of land. Okay, it was like an empty plot of land in a bit remote area where people would not usually look for a house or stuff. So he did not construct any house or anything there. It was like an empty plot of land with boundaries and everything. So what he did is, he he gave it on rent to a person that you can basically park your, he was having some trucks or other goods carrying vehicles. So you can park those vehicles there, and monthly you need to pay this much amount of rent. Okay, there was a rent agreement and everything. So he said, you can keep your vehicles here, you can park them here, and you need to pay this amount of money. Now this person was parking there, he was paying money also. For a few years it went good. After that, what he did, right? He removed all his vehicles, but there was one vehicle which was like completely damaged, destroyed and stuff. He kept it. Few other damaged parts and stuff, he kept it, which occupied like a major portion of the property. And he simply kept it like that. He was not paying the rent also. He was not vacating the plot also. So owner was continuously asking that please vacate it or at least pay the rent. But he was not simply listening. He was like, oh, yeah, I'll vacate it, I'll pay it, stuff like that. In such cases, what owner can do is he can use this re-entry on land. So owner can basically take out all those vehicles and stuff, remove it, and he can again get back entry on the land. He can vacate it for himself. Okay, so that is nothing but re-entry on land. If someone has wrongfully taken possession of your property, you can remove that person and you can re-enter there by using reasonable amount of force. All right, these provisions a little bit, like related to each other also. They are like overlapping, you can say, in some cases. Right. Next one being recapture of goods. Now, what is recapture of goods? Here we are talking about movable properties or some goods that you own. Okay, take for example, you are preparing for judiciary. For that, you bought like a very good guidebook. Okay, you bought a very good guidebook and you were discussing it with your friend that I got this book, it's a very good book and all that stuff. Your friend said that even I want to refer that book. Can you give it to me for a week? I'll read it for a week and then I'll return. You said, okay, fine. You can take it for a week and then you can return it. But after 3 weeks also, your friend was not returning the book. And when you asked for it, your friend was like, no, you did not give me any guidebooks. I never took any books from you. I'm not bound to return it to you. Okay, so in such cases, what can you do? Maybe few days later, she was carrying it to the classroom. So there, when you saw the book that she is again reading from your book, you can recapture that book. You can take that book from her and be like, see, even my name is written. It's my book. And you can keep it with yourself. So what are you doing here? You are helping yourself. You have recaptured the goods that originally belonged to you and your friend was not returning. Right? There also you are helping yourself. It again is extrajudicial remedy in case of tort. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear or you want to be repeated these points? Yes, sir. Clear, right? All right. Next one is abatement, which means in case of nuisance, whether it's public or private nuisance, we usually have the option of removing the object which is creating issue. Okay, it is like most common situation where any one of you, do you ride or drive? Usually in case of riding, it's there. Do you ride a vehicle? Arma, Soumya, any one of you? Okay. So it's most common. Take for example, if someone is riding a vehicle and that person went somewhere where there is this parking place available. All right. In that parking space, it's like 15 two-wheelers can be parked. But just because people have just parked it very casually like this, that is why there were only 8 vehicles which could be parked. And when you reach there, you were not able to park your vehicle over there. So what you can do is you can move those vehicles a bit, right? Usually we do it that you can move it a little bit, you can make some space for yourself and you can park your vehicle there and you can leave. That means whatever was causing the problem, you are removing that thing and you are doing your work. There also you are helping yourself. It's also very much common where people would very carelessly park their vehicle right in front of your gate. Even though you have mentioned maybe that no parking in front of the gate, still they will park right in front of your gate. If it's a car, it's a different thing. You need to wait. You cannot simply remove it. But if it's a two-wheeler, rather than waiting there for the owner to come and stuff, you can simply move the two-wheeler a bit, make some space for yourself, take your car out and you can leave, right? That is nothing but abatement. Again, whatever is causing the nuisance, whatever is causing the problem, you remove that thing, you make some space for yourself, you help yourself and deal with the situation. Okay, that's another type of relief which is very common and very commonly used by us as well. In case of construction work also, we see that when some construction work is going on, this road will be like blocked, right? Road will be blocked. But once construction is over also, might be negligently, they just left it like that only. There people would use some force and remove those things, right? Whatever was blocking the road. So they are trying to help themselves rather than creating like a big issue out of it. In cases where it's possible for us to help ourselves, right? That is another type of relief that we can get. Okay, next one is distress damage fecit, which again means like, take for example, you were cultivating something, you were preparing your own garden or stuff, and your neighbor's cow or some other beast enters your property and damaged your entire crops and everything. In such a case, you will ask for compensation from that person. Right, so in that case what happens is, rather than like filing a case or stuff, you can say that I'm not releasing this cow, I will keep it with me until and unless you are paying money for it. Unless and until you are making this loss good, I am not releasing your cow or releasing your beast. That's also like self-help, right? You are simply saying that I'm not releasing it until and unless you have made payment for it. Okay, so that is also another type of relief which we have, distress damage fecit, that we are trying to help ourselves by keeping these kettles or these beasts within us, that until and unless you are making this loss good, I'm not going to return this thing with you. Okay. Is this part clear? Any points if you want to be repeated, you can tell. We'll discuss that part. Any points not clear out of these? Judicial remedies, 3 types: damages, injunction, and specific restitution of property, whether movable or immovable. In case of extrajudicial, it is expulsion of trespasser, re-entry on land, recapture of goods, abatement, and distress damage fecit. Okay, these are the reliefs or remedies which we have available.